It's another week. We're at the end of September. Hard to believe this is already here. I feel like just, I don't know, days ago it felt like August, didn't it?
Yeah.
But we are now knee-deep in September. I'm heading into October soon, and I'm ready to decorate for Halloween. We did some apple picking today in a nearby orchard as our tree produced fruit, but
The squirrels ate it all.
yes, but anyway, it was okay. We did get 11 apples from our tree this year that survived.
Last year we had over 100, but the squirrels ate most of those this year. So.
But that's okay, because we got to visit an orchard we haven't done in a long time.
Yeah,
so
time.
It was a good time, and they have a little store in there, so we were able to see the little farm store and purchase some cool things like homemade jam and grapes that they also grow on the property. So it was a lot of fun.
So what we're planning on doing this week is building a shoe rack for our son's shoes. He has a big pile of shoes on the floor. We're hoping to get that organized this week using materials they have on hand, hopefully. So, and the other thing, what was the other thing we're doing?
Redoing his desk,
Right.
which is great, which was your desk.
My desk when I was a kid. I've had it since I was 10 or 12 years old. So it's been around for a long time. It's been well loved and well used, so it needs a refresh.
Yes.
Definitely.
It was, it's definitely a product of the late 70s, early 80s, which was probably way cool at the time. It's very well built, by the way.
Yeah.
They just don't make things the way they used to.
Yeah, great desk.
It is really great.
But it
a lot of
looks
storage.
dated.
Yeah, it really does. So it was time. Everything from the handles that were part metal, part wood at the time, probably banging. But now, not so much.
Right.
So we basically what we're going to do is change up the hardware, so we're going to have better, like black, matte black knobs, square shaped knobs and handles, which I've already purchased on Amazon. We have to get some, well we did get the stain, because we were running low on that stain. It's a stain we use often for a lot of our furniture pieces.
So we're planning on sanding the whole thing down and refinishing it.
Yes.
So we'll see how it comes out.
Yes, and our goal is to get rid of that orangey, dark wood color and kind of make it a little brighter. Jake really likes that vintage looking but lighter wood. He also likes where it's a little darker, so we're going to go really light and see how he likes it. We'll see. And if he doesn't like it, the great thing is you sand it down and you restain it.
Right.
But so far, that's our plan. And the shoe rack, we're going to try a new technique instead of stain.
Right, that's right. Yes. Well, watch and see.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So we are doing some more projects around the house. We're pretty much done with the garden now for this season, for this year. We are by no means done or where we want to be. It's going to take a couple of years.
Yeah, the yard needs a lot of work, but it's all long-term stuff. So.
Yes, and it's always changing. So what we liked 5 years ago changes again as time goes on. But we are done with that as of now for this season, and we're going, we've been doing more inside, which has been really exciting. Upkeep, preparing for winter. We've just been doing a lot of fall cleaning and decorating. I'm not sure if I said it, but did I say it? We're going to be decorating for Halloween. I don't know. Folks, I forget a lot. But I'm going to be decorating for Halloween.
Right.
It's an exciting time. I was very reluctant to see the summer go for quite a while, but I'm ready now.
Well, because you missed most of the summer when you were recovering.
Yeah.
So that's why it was hard to let go, but now it's definitely fall, and we're definitely ready for it.
Totally ready for it. And tonight, we've got some stuff to wrap up, but then before we start up our projects, which will be starting soon, we'll be with the desk and the shoe rack. But tonight, I think we're going to hang out and have a bonfire. Yes! And yes, bonfire! And maybe some marshmallows.
Sure.
All right, good. We got to have marshmallows, guys. And maybe cocoa, maybe tea. I don't know. We'll see what we're in the mood for. And then maybe even
coffee
at night. This guy, right? But anyway, we'll also be inside and sitting by the fire. This is a great time to cozy up with a blanket and have a fire going, read a nice book, maybe binge watch some cool shows. This is a time of rest. Everybody take time to rest and relax. And we've already had the excitement of the summer, so enjoy the fall. This is a great time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and join us this week and see what we do this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Hey, Dad. Dad, I got too many shoes. I don't know where to put them. Make me a thing so I can put them somewhere. Dad.
Yes?
Did you hear any of that?
No. What's up?
Oh, okay. Listen. I got all these shoes. I have too many shoes. Yeah, not enough floor for all of them. I don't know what.
Maybe we should throw out some of the shoes. Wait, I have an idea.
Wait, you have an idea? You have an idea? What's your idea?
How about a shoe rack?
That's a great idea. What, from from a big box store, or
Never.
how else would I get one? What else? How?
I'll make one.
No way. This was a great candid conversation we just had.
You betcha, son. Bye now. So, we need to build a shoe rack to make sense of this jumble of shoes. So I'm going to use some supplies I have around the workshop and see what I can do. Okay, so I've got some scrap pieces of pallets, a couple of scrap pieces of plywood, and these little metal grids that came from a cubicle shelving system that was horrible and kept falling apart. But I saved the metal grids. I'm hoping to make a nice little shoe rack out of this. Let's see how it comes out. So there's a few holes in the face of this top for the shoe rack that I want to fill up with wood filler, but I don't have any wood filler. So what I do have is wood glue and sawdust. So I'm going to mix up a little batch of my own. It's not ideal, but it works in a pinch. So instead of staining these boards, I'm going to use a technique I call torching. Just a propane torch. Brings out the natural grain of the wood.
Hey, Dad!
Yep.
Hey!
Hey, where'd all your shoes go?
Where'd my shoes go, Dad? What'd you do with them?
Well, maybe you haven't noticed, but look over here.
Oh my God! Where'd you get this? Was this from a big box store?
You might think so by looking at it, but that's homemade.
No. I don't believe it. Not for 1 second.
Well, believe it or not.
Well, that should be our catchphrase.
So our neighbor was kind enough to let us borrow his dethatching tool, and we are dethatching the grass. And as you remember, this did not do well, so we're trying it again. And the best time to do it anyway, according to Paul, right Paul, is to do it in the fall. I'm completely mesmerized watching this. It's satisfying to see all the dead grass coming up. We're gonna have such nice grass in the spring. So now after he's done this, he went one way and then he went in the other direction, and now he's going to rake all this up. And it will maybe look a little worse for the wear.
This is dethatching time.
May look a little worse for the wear for now, but once he seeds it and it has time to grow, the grass will look so wonderful in the spring, and it will start to look better as the weeks go by. We hope. That is the hope. We don't know if the seeds will take well because we're waiting a little bit later than we would have liked, but hopefully it'll grow. If not, we'll think about it in the spring. But the best time to do it is in the fall. Why, Paul? You had mentioned it to me before.
Well, in the springtime, all the other weeds are seeding, like crabgrass especially.
Ah.
And if you're going to put down crabgrass preventer, you can't seed. So
I see.
this way the grass seed isn't competing with all the other seeds that seed in the spring, all the other weeds. What a difference.
So, it's taking a long time because we, Paul and I, do not have luck with the
Stripping products?
thank you. We don't have, with the furniture stripping products, we don't have luck with that. So we're just sanding it down. Feels a little bit like you're working a jackhammer for a while. You're a little jittery after it. You really have to kind of push down. There's still a little bit of oranginess to it. Also, I stopped because we're getting really down to the wire, so I'm going to have to change this out. Make sure to check on these and change them out every so often. The top alone took a lot of power in the hands, and it's just a little bit still. It needs a little bit of that oranginess out. So we still have some more to do. We have drawers as well, but we just wanted to show you at this point what it looks like. A tough project, but definitely worth it. There may be a point where I'll bleach the wood a little bit, and I'll show you that in a bit, where I'll do that first, and then we'll stain it after it dries. It's quite a process. There we go. Okay, dust in the eye. Goggles probably are a good idea. Glad I had the mask though. This is where I take a break. It's a little exhausting. There's layers and layers and layers of polyurethane on here, and there's a stain, and it's from the late 70s, early 80s. This was my husband's childhood desk. Things tended to be on the orangey side in those days. The stain, the wood itself, it just bleeds through. So it's very frustrating. Like I said, I'm going to possibly bleach it. Basically, to get that orangey out, you do a little wash over it. And then I can sand it again, wipe it down, whatever. There's also a thing after that, if it's still bleeding through, to do like a whitewash and almost wipe it away. And not whitewash where you would do equal parts paint and water, but you would maybe put a good amount of, a little bit of paint with a good amount of water, just to give it that base. And then you just kind of wipe it away with the cloth, and then place the stain that you want over it. And that should help all of those steps to get the orangey not to come through. But this is where I step back. Maybe my husband would like to take over as you feel like you're kind of doing this. Like I said, it feels almost like a jackhammer. After a while, it really does make you shaky. My husband and I have tendinitis and arthritis, so we have to kind of trade off and help each other out sometimes and do half and half. This is going to be quite a project, but it's going to be worth it in the end. I believe my son will really love this, and it'll bring it up to date in this time frame. We're changing out the knobs and the handles, as those are very old-fashioned as well. We hope you get some ideas from this, and yeah, break time. So we moved the desk over here. It's the next day. We're doing another round. We had to get more of the sanding discs. We're using the rest of this one, and then we're going to put some more on. There's layers and layers of shellac, and like I said, we just do not have luck with the chemical stripper or even the natural stripper. It just doesn't work for us. I think the most thing it does is you have to do it in layers. You have to keep going. We're just not patient enough. but I think mainly what it does for us is it takes that layer of shellac off, that shiny urethane that's on top, and then you might have to do that a couple times, but then after that it's really best to either strip it a third time and then scrape, or you just sand the heck out of it. And you really need a really, like for this is an old desk, it's built really well. You can use a tough sanding disc. You can do that and then end off with a finer grit if you want, or you can by hand do a finer grit, because when we bleach this, it's going to pull up the wood a little bit and it's going to feel like gritty, and you're going to feel like little strands of wood coming up. So you really want to do something. But for now, we're going to finish sanding this off, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay. So it's starting to get worn, and it's needing to be pulled and put a new one on as the edges start to get really worn. And you know when it doesn't pick it up as much and you know it's not doing as good a job, it's time to change it. And the least bit, stop it and make sure it's on right. Make sure it's still on. I've made the mistake of thinking I had it on and was just sanding with this part and not this. That has happened to me before. Unfortunately, that has happened, and it will break it. So don't make the mistake I did. Yeah, and you want to line up the holes. My husband was reminding me, and yes, you do want to do that. This is slightly larger than...
Yeah, that's just a tiny bit.
All right. Let's start doing it again. So if you're like me and you're getting older, you're nearing 50, your joints and your bones and your muscles aren't what they used to be. So sitting in an awkward position for a long time and the constant thrumming of this machine can do a number on you. So take frequent breaks, everybody. I'm going to take a break because my knees and my back and my arms are really feeling it. So I'm going to take a break. But I suppose Paul will try to work on it a little bit, and then he'll need a break. But take care of yourself, guys, and take your time. Be patient. Make this a project that you can really take the time to do. Don't try to rush it like we used to when we were younger. Don't try to rush it all in a couple of days. Sometimes it just takes a little longer. We're very lucky we have another desk, so my son's been using that now that he's back to school. But try to plan accordingly is what I'm trying to say. If you are not like us and you can go through it quickly, that's great. But also you want to do a really good job, so you really want to take your time and make sure you get as close down to the bare wood as you possibly can. I don't know if you can see from here, but in these little divots here, there's a darker stain that we don't have the tool. For about $50 you can buy a pointy thin tool that can get in these little divots when you have things like this. Is it worth it? Possibly. I think we're going to actually kind of work with it. We're going to try to maybe get in there as much as we can, but I think we might work with it because the stain will be a cool shade after we bleach the wood, and that might be like a cool feature, having it a little dark. But go with what your tastes are, but know that it's about $50 or so at Home Depot for the cheaper end of it, and it works just fine if you really want to get in there and get everything down to the bare minimum wood. We don't mind for us personally, and my son is really starting to like how it's coming out, and he doesn't mind this as much. So that is all. Paul's turn. So we're wiping down the dust from the sanding, and we're about to do the bleaching process. You want to be really covered. You want to be outside where you can get some fresh air because it is really toxic, the bleach, and you want to cover your hands with maybe some gloves in case it gets on your hands. It's up to you about a mask and goggles. If you think it's going to be, you know, messy, then you might want to do that to protect things. I think I'll be okay, but if I find that it starts getting messy, I will do that. But we are wiping everything down now and about to do the bleach. What we're doing is we're literally just pouring straight out bleach into a plastic cup. You want it to be plastic because the metal will erode. And you're going to take a really good paintbrush and you're going to go in smooth strokes. You're just painting it on like you were painting. You don't want to be like little bits. You don't want it to be leaving dots. If it is, rub it in. It does it just because you don't want it to be splotchy. So the bleaching just kind of pulls out the last of that color and brings it back to its original state of what it was. Going to dry for at least 4 hours. And we're going to leave it alone for that time being.
Make sure you're staying outside and well ventilated. This is something we wouldn't even attempt indoors, even in a well ventilated area. Outside is best, just because these fumes will really build up. So, best to be outside.
Yes. You can already see it pulling a little bit, pulling some of that color out, which is pretty cool that it's already working.
Yes, you should really do it on a nice dry sunny day, just so the wood gets a chance to dry out thoroughly with that bleach. You definitely don't want to trap any moisture in there.
Another reason you want to be outside is if you're clumsy like we can be sometimes, you don't want bleach to be all over something inside. And definitely wear paint clothes like we're doing, or clothes you don't care about, because it will bleach your clothes. My knees aren't what they used to be, for sure.
Me neither.
Not fun getting old. Sometimes it is. So certain things are nice, but as long as you put it on well, you should only need one coat of this. You don't need to keep doing any more than that, as it could be really harsh on the wood. But I'm just going over for any foamy areas or anything that just needs a little adjustment. But we have some darker spots, especially in the back, that we couldn't get with the sander. Or just maybe what little is left in there, I'm just trying to go over that particular area. But you really don't want to go over and over and over a spot too much. You don't want to ruin the wood. Now we're in late September now, and it is getting a little colder, but it's still a nice enough sunny day. We're going to move these over to the sun. So sun is good. You definitely don't want it damp, as we were saying, but generally it's better to have at least 60-degree weather. You want that hot sun to kind of dry this off quickly so it doesn't hurt the wood in any way, and it will dry faster. And today's kind of pushing it. We're not quite 60, but because of the sun, I think we're okay. But try to generally do a project like this in the sun and at least 60 degrees if you can. But it should be okay. Now that's it.
So now it is time to neutralize the bleach with a vinegar and water solution. Half and half vinegar and water. So before staining this piece, I'm going to give it a quick whitewash, just to prevent any of the dark color coming through. We're looking for more of a light finish. So I've got equal parts water and white paint. I'm going to give it a really quick whitewash. I'm going to wipe it off immediately. This will prevent some of that dark bleed through.
So here you have it, folks. Here's the finished desk. It's a little light in color. We weren't sure if Jacob would like it, but consensus, Jacob?
Yes.
Okay. He loves it. I hope loves it.
Yes.
Anyway, so we have the finished desk here, and we you saw the process of the refinishing. And here are the finished handles and knobs. And it came out great. Paul even spray painted the key hole there. And then we, as you can see, again, we have these shoe shelves. So we have the shoe shelf and the desk all finished. Came out great.
Hi, my name is Jacob. I'm the son of the two people you usually see in these videos. I'm sometimes there also. I edit the videos. And I'm here to say thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. If you like this video, please like it. It's really great. If you've seen any of our videos and thought you wanted to see more like that, please subscribe and click that notification bell if you want to see all of them. That would be cool. And leave a comment if you have anything to say, questions, concerns, any thoughts you had. What do you have for breakfast? I don't know. I hope you take care. Thanks for watching and stick around.